She was told one simple thing: never take it off. Not when she bathes, not when she sleeps, not even when it begins to hurt. At first, it sounded ridiculous. But what she didn't know was that this gift would either save her life or destroy it completely. In a quiet village far from the noise of the city lived a young woman named Amara. She was kind, hardworking, and like many others struggling to survive. Life hadn't been easy for her. After losing her parents at a young age, she had learned to depend only on herself. Every day was about survival, finding food, making small money, and hoping tomorrow would be a little better than today. She had no idea that everything was about to change the day she met the old woman. It was a hot afternoon, the kind of heat that makes the air feel heavy and still. The roads were nearly empty, and Amara had just returned from the market, tired and sweaty, when she noticed someone sitting by the roadside. An old woman. Her clothes were worn, her posture weak, but her eyes were sharp and unsettling, like they could see straight through you. "Please," the old woman whispered weakly, "help me." Amara paused. Something didn't feel right. There was a strange heaviness in the air around the woman, something that made her instincts scream to walk away. But her kind heart wouldn't let her ignore someone in need. She stepped closer, bought her some food, gave her water, and even sat beside her for a moment. The old woman smiled. Not a normal smile. It was slow, knowing, almost like she had been expecting Amara all along. Then she reached into her bag and pulled out a small bundle wrapped in cloth. "Take this," she said. Amara frowned, confused. "What is it?" "Protection," the old woman replied calmly. Amara almost laughed. Protection? From what? But before she could ask anything else, the old woman leaned closer and whispered something that made her chest tighten. "Wear it and never take it off, no matter what happens." Amara stood there, frozen. When she looked up again, the old woman had already turned away, as if the conversation was over. When Amara got home, curiosity took over. She sat on her bed and slowly unwrapped the cloth. Inside was underwear. Simple, plain, nothing special. No symbols, no glow. Nothing that suggested it was anything other than an ordinary piece of clothing. She shook her head, half amused. "Protection," she muttered. It made no sense. But then she remembered the old woman's voice, the seriousness in it, the way her eyes had looked. Something about it didn't feel like a joke. After a long moment of hesitation, Amara sighed and decided to wear it. "It's just for today," she told herself. The first few days were completely normal. Nothing strange happened. No signs, no danger, nothing that justified such a dramatic warning. Amara even began to feel silly for taking it seriously. Until the dream started. The first night she saw a shadow standing at the foot of her bed. It didn't move at first, it just stood there, watching her. She tried to scream, but no sound came out. Then, slowly, it began to move closer. Amara woke up with a gasp, her heart pounding violently against her chest. Sweat covered her body, and her room was silent, empty. Just a dream. Or so she thought, because the next night, it came back, and the next. Each time the shadow got closer. Each time it reached out like it was trying to touch her. But somehow, it never could. There was always something stopping it, like an invisible barrier surrounding her. Amara began to notice something else. Every time she woke from those dreams, her body felt strangely warm, safe, like something had protected her. Days turned into weeks, and the dreams continued. But now, something else began to happen. The underwear became uncomfortable. At first, it was just a slight irritation. Then it grew worse, tight, itchy, almost unbearable. It felt like her own skin was rejecting it. She tried to ignore it, but the discomfort only grew stronger. It began to affect her sleep, her mood, everything. She became restless, easily irritated, constantly distracted. Then came the whispers. At first, they were faint, barely noticeable, but as days passed, they became clearer. "Take it off." The voice was soft, almost soothing. "You don't need it." Amara would look around, confused, but there was never anyone there. "Free yourself." She started losing sleep. Every night was either filled with the shadow or the whispers, or both. Her mind felt like it was slowly unraveling. Even her friends noticed the change. "You don't look okay," one of them said. "What's wrong with you lately?" Amara forced a smile, brushing it off, but deep down she knew something was terribly wrong. She just didn't understand what. Then one night, everything became too much. The itching, the pressure, the voices. It all reached a breaking point. Amara stood in front of her mirror, staring at herself. Her eyes looked tired, almost hollow. "It's just a piece of cloth," she whispered, "nothing more." Her hands trembled slightly as she reached down. For a moment, she hesitated. The old woman's voice echoed faintly in her mind. "Never take it off." Amara shook her head. "This is crazy," she said. And then she removed it. For the first time in weeks, she felt relief, pure, immediate relief. The discomfort vanished. The pressure disappeared. The room felt lighter. She let out a deep breath. Finally, peace. But then, the lights flickered. The temperature dropped instantly, and a cold chill ran down her spine. Slowly, she turned around. The shadow was there, not in a dream this time, standing right behind her. Amara froze. Her body refused to move, like something had locked her in place. The shadow seemed darker than anything she had ever seen, its form shifting, unstable, yet terrifyingly real. A whisper filled the room. "Now, you're mine." The shadow lunged toward her. But before it could touch her, a bright light exploded across the room. A voice cut through the darkness. "I warned you!" The old woman stood there, no longer weak or fragile. Her presence filled the room with power. Her eyes glowed with an intensity that made the shadow recoil. With a single motion of her hand, the shadow let out a horrifying scream and vanished into nothingness. Amara collapsed to the floor, trembling uncontrollably. What is happening?" she cried. The old woman looked down at her, her expression calm but serious. "That was not just clothing," she said. "It was a seal, a protection." Amara's breath caught in her throat. "Something has been following you since you were a child," the old woman continued, "waiting, watching, waiting for the moment you would be vulnerable." Tears filled Amara's eyes as the truth sank in. "You were never alone," the old woman said softly. "I gave you something to keep it away, to buy you time." Amara shook her head, overwhelmed. "Why didn't you explain it to me?" The old woman sighed. "Because some warnings are not meant to be understood, they are meant to be obeyed." She reached into her bag and handed Amara the cloth again. "Now you know the truth. The choice is yours." Amara stared at it for only a second this time. Then she took it and wore it again without hesitation. Because now she understood. Some things in this world are not meant to be questioned. And some warnings are the only thing standing between you and something far worse. So tell me, if you were Amara, would you have taken it off? Or would you have obeyed the warning?